Angel Reese says WNBA players could go on strike over salary and benefits. You know what I love watching? I love watching her highlights of missing shots. She's got to be the worst shooter you've met in your life.
Angel Reese probably thought she was being a mafia boss when she threatened a total boycott of the WNBA on her podcast.
I am your boss.
But never in her wildest dreams did she think that Patrick Bet David would pull up and destroy her wild arguments with nothing but facts.
I was just kidding. Come on. Come on. You guys know I was just kidding, right?
That's right. Angel's demands were completely annihilated, and she ended up looking like a total idiot after an epic roast session.
They are.
I need to get in the field.
You need to come to the
I
meeting.
gotta get in the meetings because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sitting out.
That's a possibility, for real.
Yeah.
It was.
Angel's blatant threats of boycott were met with high backlash, and the most interesting clapback came from Patrick Bet David, who didn't miss a moment to burn Angel's ego down to a crisp.
Whatever your career you choose, you should probably look at what the career earnings are of going into that field. What I'll also say is this: every single one of you WNBA players, you better pray that Caitlin Clark doesn't get injured, because she's keeping your league afloat.
That's a good argument. It's a very good argument. I agree. Yeah.
Can you honestly believe Angel's threats about boycotting the entire league for the upcoming season ahead? Because this is the same player who couldn't hit a wide open layup if her life depended on it.
What? Are you kidding? Yeah. Oh, this may be the same one from earlier. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Oh, shit. No. Up. Are you joking? I can't believe that's real, folks.
Now that's crazy. Imagine calling yourself a professional basketball player and consistently missing layups. I don't know about you, but I sure as heck don't think Angel's a skilled player. She's more like an experienced whiner.
Angel Reese not doing anything to help her case in believing that she's worth more money with the display that she put on in an unrivaled game. Angel Reese just putting on a tour de force performance, missing layup after layup. Angel Reese, who led the WNBA last year in field goal attempts that were taken within 5 feet of the basket. She had 274 attempts last year within 5 feet. Her conversion rate was the lowest among any player in the league who attempted at least 3 shots a game.
That's correct. Angel has the worst conversion rate in the entire 2024 season among all players who took more than 3 shots within 5 feet of the basket. Yup, she was statistically the worst layup scorer in all of the WNBA.
Wow, now that's something.
Booyah! Angel Reese, 3-on-3, part 13, let's get it!
Classic long two.
Bang!
PSA, no rims or backboards were harmed during the filming of this video. But viewers are encouraged to look away.
Bang!
What?
Bang!
I heard her say that she might sit out if the WNBA doesn't pay her what she deserves. They say $1 million for every missed layup is fair.
Bang!
They are stat petting queen properly. Fair wages for all. I repeat, fair wages. Remember, they're coming to see her.
Long two, butter pecan, burst!
Don't understand how the WNBA won't have enough money to pay her. I mean, max contract, we're talking about Curry land, we're talking about LeBron. I mean, she brings all the eyeballs. She's so skilled, she does everything perfectly. I mean, she can dunk too. Look at that.
Bang!
Netflix, listen to me. If the WNBA won't pay her, you better. Comedy special, man. She's hilarious.
Who else can do the hop, skippity, drop, step, bang better than her?
Bang! Bang!
Heck, even some bench players who had 5 minutes of playing time were scoring more than her.
I'm sure there were some red faces in the crowd caused by uncontrollable laughter, as the crowd of dozens of people witnessed Angel Reese once again struggle to make routine layups.
After establishing herself as a professional bricklayer, Angel had the audacity to demand a complete boycott if her salary requests weren't met by the WNBA. This has gotta be the funniest thing we have ever heard from Angel Reese.
So let me read this to you. So they're upset. They want to get paid. possibility. Reese has been vocal about her low WNBA salary, revealing her $74,000 a year salary doesn't cover rent, stating on Instagram Live, I just hope you know that the WNBA doesn't pay my bills at all. I don't even think they pay one of my bills. Reese's financial struggles stem from WNBA salary not matching her past earnings, as her NIL valuation at LSU was $1.8 million.
Oh, and do you remember when Angel said that her salary doesn't even pay her rent? And in the same breath, she also accepted that she doesn't even know what her salary is. I mean, this is getting ridiculous.
What? Angel Reese is upset right here. She pays almost $100,000 a year in rent, and she's frustrated that her $74,000 a year WNBA salary doesn't cover her, again, $100,000 a year rent bill, $100,000. To put that in comparison, the average worker in America earns roughly right around $55,000 a year. She pays almost double that.
Let's be real, Angel's absurd demands are completely dumbfounded, and she's not really contributing anything to WNBA to justify her salary raise. On the contrary, Angel's salary is too much for her failed layups.
This year for Halloween, I guess Angel Reese is going to dress as the party pooper, because once again, she used this moment of celebration as an opportunity to complain about her minimum wage salary in the WNBA, which means Angel Reese is once again demanding money she hasn't earned.
On the other hand, the real contribution is only coming from one player only, and that is Caitlin Clark.
You're goddamn right.
These women are quite delusional to think that sitting out is going to work in their favor when the demand of the product is solely based on someone like Caitlin Clark. And I know that a lot of people don't want to hear this, but this is the truth. That Caitlin Clark chooses to sit out, I do feel like that's going to be a pretty big deal. Competing leagues are trying to reel her in and pay her the most out of everybody from jump. So if you aren't that caliber player, Aja Wilson, Sabrina, any of the chicks that just won the championship or competed at that level, then like it's just irrelevant.
That's right. Players like Angel Reese and Aja Wilson don't have any real leverage when it comes to bargaining for a salary raise because they haven't really contributed much to the WNBA. And if we compare them to Clark's achievements, then their contributions become almost zero.
One person can change the game, and Tiger.
Is that when Tiger came in?
That's when Tiger came in.
Well, he brought a whole new audience.
He brought a whole new audience.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Caitlin Clark is doing. So how many people did he make rich?
When I think about Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude. There's an incredible level of gratitude that should be accorded to this young lady with what she did for the sport.
And while Angel Reese continues to moan about getting equal pay and comparing her salary with the NBA, Caitlin Clark has stepped up to clear the air surrounding the WNBA salary issue. Clark has been the face of the WNBA ever since she debuted last season and has been single-handedly uplifting the entire league, but she still thinks that the league has a long way to go. And after Angel's ridiculous threats, Clark clarified that the WNBA has not achieved the ideal product that can demand a salary equal to their male counterparts.
Comparing the WNBA and the NBA, I don't really think that's fair. Obviously, I think where the WNBA is right now is pretty incredible. I think a lot of people, or most people, would not believe it's in the place that it is right now. So I think when people always ask me this question, where I think it'll be in 5 years, is it's hard for me to answer because people didn't even think we'd be right here, right now.
That's correct. Even Caitlin Clark, the golden girl of WNBA, has accepted the fact that WNBA players are in no position to bargain a higher salary based on the product because they have a long way to go before becoming an ideal league. And with more missed layups than actual points, Angel's game this year has been more dreadful than ever before.
I'm sure there were some red faces in the crowd caused by uncontrollable laughter, as the crowd of dozens of people witnessed Angel Reese once again struggle to make routine layups.
Based on her poor form, analysts like Patrick Bet-David are clearly saying that she's being self-entitled and her demands are completely ridiculous.
And straight doing her thing, she's got the money. The reality is this: Angel Reese and whatever other players are in the WNBA, without Caitlin Clark, we wouldn't be talking about your league.
Period.
I fully agree that they should let this league fail. It's a zombie league, but they're not making money.
Works. That's
and
not how capitalism
the
works.
NBA pays their salary.
While Angel is crying for a salary bump, there's an even bigger disaster that that completely destroys any hopes of Angel getting a higher salary, and that is the empty bank account of the WNBA. That's right, folks. To say that the WNBA has been struggling with financial problems is putting it mildly, because the reality is, the WNBA has been losing far more money than a billionaire with a severe gambling addiction.
Lose. Need some tape? No. Why? Because I'm all out of money!
NBA owners have invested hundreds of millions into this dump, and they have yet to see a return in 10,950 days. The WNBA's had over 10,000 days to figure out a way to generate a Colombian peso, and it would appear that a Colombian peso ain't even worth a penny. That's how low the expectations have been in the WNBA.
That's right, and the most interesting fact, this league hasn't turned a single buck in profit since day one.
The WNBA, listen to this. Owners are mad, they're furious, they're tired of it. The WNBA lost $40 million this year. That's right. They lost $40 million.
That's right. Not a nickel of profit in over 25 years. And these same people daring the NBA to stop underwriting the financial shortfall? Striking for higher wages against an unprofitable business is a dubious tactic. And threatening to boycott a business which is constantly bleeding money. Now that's utter foolishness.
We can look at this the way grown men and grown women, people with knowledge and wisdom, basically, we can look at this the right way. The WNBA is a dump, and if they don't get their shit together, the NBA could pull their resources.
And even after a historic record-breaking year where Clark single-handedly uplifted their league, WNBA still lost close to $40 million because that's how much they were spending in the first place.
How? 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 I don't know.
You know, you'd actually, if you really want to go into business, you need to pay some money back. I mean, you made nothing. You made absolutely nothing. You haven't really enhanced the league. Caitlin Clark had. If Angel Reese came into the league without Caitlin Clark, nobody would know who Dijon Carrington was, her sidekick, or no one would know who Angel Reese is.
Until you have successfully marketed your product into profitability, nobody's accepting your demands, at least not the ones coming from Angel Reese. And while the Bayou Barbie continues to complain about her salary, her so-called rival, Caitlin Clark, is busy smashing records and perfecting her gameplay.
Firstly, Caitlin Clark was named AP Female Athlete of the Year following her impact on women's sports. This news was announced on Christmas Eve, and it says Caitlin Clark raised the profile of women's basketball to unprecedented levels in both the college ranks and the WNBA, and Tuesday she was named the AP Female Athlete of the Year for her impact on and off the court. They went on to talk about her leading Iowa to the national championship game, and then she became the #1 pick in the WNBA draft, and then went on to win Rookie of the Year.
That's correct. Caitlin Clark is already the Rookie of the Year, AP Athlete of the Year, as well as the Times Athlete of the Year combined. And we don't see her complaining about her meager salary, do we? Nope. We only see Angel Reese and her gang.
There is a serious possibility that WNBA players will go on strike after this coming season. If you believe Angel Reese, we could see WNBA players potentially sitting out games this season. Question is, how will TNT and the WNBA handle it? We know how the players are going to handle it. WNBA players, they are delusional enough to think that they have all the leverage. They're actually believing the hype that they're seeing from the mainstream media.
Angel is being completely delusional if she believes any of the media hype about herself online, because here's the deal, Angel's hype doesn't really translate well into reality. On the other hand, we have Caitlin Clark, who is actually underrated, despite winning all possible accolades.
Guys, today, Complex Sports announcing the top 10 most influential athletes right now. These athletes are reshaping culture. Caitlin Clark, check. Breaking records, Caitlin Clark, check. It's Caitlin Clark, Kent. The woman who's been putting women's basketball on her back for the better part of 3 years now.
That's right, Caitlin only sees the positive in her outlook towards the league. But Angel, on the other hand, let's just say she's not the optimistic type and only sees the glass half empty. And this exactly why she's constantly crying about something or the other.
I guarantee you, the people that are actually going to be at the negotiating table are saying right now this word. Will you shut up? Seriously, I guarantee you those women, the intelligent ones, the one that have a brain, the one that are actually going to sit down and do this, are saying to Angel Reese, shut up, take off your clothes, show your ass, talk about how Hollywood stars want to date you, and move it along.
That's right. Angel Reese isn't interested in thinking logically or listening to actual facts. Nope. After getting roasted by Patrick Bet David, she took to social media and started throwing tantrums like a little kid who got an earful from their elder brother.
I said, WTF, I said. And I'll say it again.
She wrote, and I quote, "I said what the WTF I said, and I would say it again. This is honestly unbelievable. I mean, to have a stupid argument is one thing. Getting called out and still doubling down on it, it is absolutely pathetic and downright ridiculous." After listening to her threats, many people said that it would be a blessing in disguise if Angel really decided to sit this one out, because everybody would be saved from her lousy basketball and childish antics.
Oh, no! Not again! Angel Reese 3-pointers! Bang!
Every three-point shot missed by Reese right here. Bang!
Watching because of me too.
Caitlin Clark could never make that pass. Bang! Build a campfire around her. Look at all that space.
Bang! Pump fake! Got him! Free play! Aaron Rodgers! Bang, bang!
You'll never see a less enthused teammate than Cardoso on the bench. No confidence in Reese. Look at this. Casually. She's dead. Dead. They say the safest place to be when a nuclear missile goes off is next to Angel Reese's jump shot. Because nobody's around. Bang! I mean, the disrespect here. She gets the ball, the defender retreats to the paint.
Almost went in. Bang.
Man, social distancing in 2024 is crazy. COVID was 4 years ago. Bang! He said free tees for Angel Reese's threes. Everybody shirtless. Bang! How she got to the All-Star game?
And because of the deep financial crisis surrounding the WNBA, there's been growing tension between the WNBA and NBA stars. Remember the dispute between Lisa Leslie and Draymond Green? Draymond clearly stated that WNBA players need to grow the game before asking for bigger checks. And he actually had a point here.
If it's one thing that you, I don't want to say change, that you feel that can help the WNBA's game out,
Leslie actually suggested that NBA players could step in and boost WNBA salaries by emptying their own pockets.
It's not like we're comparing ourselves to the NBA, but I do feel like the pay gap would be something that, we could just take a donation around the NBA maybe. Maybe one night y'all don't go to the casino.
After listening to this ridiculous argument, Draymond Green proceeded to lecture one of the greatest players in WNBA history, Lisa Leslie, because she stirred up the pot first.
I have something on this, though, because it pisses me off. It pisses me off because I don't think there's anyone in America that supports the WNBA more than NBA players.
100%.
The NBA players support the WNBA like
the most.
More than we probably support the fucking NBA. And it bothers me.
Now, Lisa might not have been completely serious in her point. Draymond still clapped back at her harder than Shaq's dunks. Because let's be real, the NBA and their players are clearly tired of bailing WNBA out every season when their coffers dry out. And the only sign of relief they see is Caitlin Clark, who's giving it her all to grow the game. But unfortunately for her, there's a constant level of jealousy and hate coming from the veterans as well as her peers because of her success.
And by the way, maybe they should play hard, but not flagrant foul. Caitlin Clark, who can be, the face of the league. They may not like it's the face of the league. There may be professional jealousies among players, but maybe at face of the league can help things go and get merch, people in seats, and a better TV contract. They're getting a TV contract improvement for the 26th season next year.
Patrick then proceeded to completely eviscerate WNBA by asking a savage question to ChatGPT. Do WNBA players get paid even if they sit out? The answer was a resounding yes, and it is only because the NBA keeps bailing them out like a parent who can't stop funding their kid's lemonade stand.
Now, watch this here. The question as well. Ask, is it true that the WNBA makes money when they don't play? Is it true that the WNBA makes money when they don't play? Ask that question.
What does that mean?
Yes, in a way the WNBA has historically lost money and receives financial support from the NBA, which means that the WNBA games are not played. The league can actually save money by avoiding operating costs.
That's right. If WNBA players actually listened to Angel Reese and boycotted the entire season ahead, they would actually be saving more money for the NBA because they would have less drama to manage, less people to pay, and most of all, less failed layups to see. And if you look at the complete picture, NBA might even throw in a party to celebrate their savings.
So WNBA makes money so if they go on a strike, the NBA is like, awesome. Okay, however, let me give you some data. Here's the only thing that you got to look at. WNBA has lost money every single year since 1997. According to the reports, the WNBA has operated an annual loss of $10 to $12 million. NBA has owned half of the WNBA financial support. NBA players pay for their salaries, by the way.
So if we look at the bigger picture, Angel's suggestion to boycott the league might not be much of a bad idea for everyone. Well, except Angel Reese. Every major analyst, including Patrick, has concluded that Angel's not going to receive her dream salary in a million years if she continues to miss wide open layups or cry about every little thing in the league.
So these two, sit out. Sit out. See what happens. Now, I would miss watching the Fever. I would miss watching Caitlin Clark, but I wouldn't miss anything else, and it wouldn't be like I would actually miss it. I'd be like, they didn't play good. I hope you do sit out. I really do.
Let's be real. Everybody has already accepted Angel's decision to back down from the WNBA, and after getting badly roasted from Patrick Bet David, Angel would surely be wondering, did my plan actually backfire on myself? This is absolutely hilarious if you ask me. Now, as for her actually boycotting the league and quitting the WNBA, only time will tell, but one thing is sure. Angel's wild antics are just beginning to reveal themselves before the season starts in earnest. So what do you think? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.